Hi everyone! Oh my gosh, welcome to my vlog. I'm at a stoplight right now and then I'm gonna be switching over to like a hands-free as I can be video where I kind of talk about what today is. So it's good to see you all. Please subscribe and like this video if you like this content. Leave your questions about school psychology or whatever in the comment section below so that I can use that to make more videos. So it's good seeing you and let's get into our video. Okay, this might be my best hands-free solution. I have like a pop socket on the back of my phone and it's a little up close and personal, but I can hold the wheel. So this vlog today is gonna be about my first day back for the 2024-2025 school year. Can you even believe it? I was listening to a podcast where they said that COVID happened 4 years ago. Can you even believe that that's a possibility? Like 4 years ago, I was starting my internship here. Right about now, I started my internship here. When I look back on the last 4 years, I would say it's been a crazy ride. All of my peers and everybody who started this profession during COVID. For educators who were educators before COVID, you know how hard it was and has been to recover from it. And so if you started teaching special education, school psychology, or whatever it was with the COVID year or around then or after that, wow, props to you guys. Public education has just been quite the experience, but I'm really actually looking forward to getting started this year with a fresh start. So I have a semi-new job this year, and I think some of you might be like, girl, you have a new job all the time, but as a contract school psychologist, that's very, very typical. A lot of the times districts contract psychologists temporarily, and I got really lucky to go back to the same district virtually in Oregon 2 years in a row, and then they unfortunately have had a really, really horrible budget crisis and had to lay off so many people. Like half of the special education departments have been laid off. They lost so much funding for special education. I just actually really feel for the district. I really care about a lot of people and all the kids there, obviously, and I'm gonna miss them, but we're starting fresh. We have a new-ish job. I started supporting them a little bit at the end of last year to solidify this year's role, and I'm excited because I'm still going to be a virtual school psychologist, but I'm going to be a virtual school psychologist for a virtual school. So all the teachers, all admin, and all the kids are virtual, and that's amazing because I think if you're a virtual school psych, you know that there's a lot of like backlash and like negativity and lack of professionalism sometimes from in-person people who just really don't like the idea of having a virtual professional, even if that's all the district can get. And if I'm competent, it doesn't matter how competent you are or sweet, there's still going to be really a lot of resistance towards it. And so I'm very much looking forward to cutting that part out of my life this year, is hopefully, obviously, not experiencing that directed towards myself. What we're doing today is I've been driving for like the last hour and a half up to our in-person trainings for the year, which I think is really, really cool that we work all virtually, but we get to meet each other, I think, a few times a year to train. It's a 2-hour drive each way, so I decided to get a hotel. Most people are getting a hotel. If they're out of a certain range, they'll reimburse us. So I booked a hotel last night. I actually flew home from my vacation seeing my family in California and got home yesterday morning after a 18-hour travel day. So yeah, just trying to get my coffee in my veins, and I'm so excited to meet everybody, but I'm definitely really nervous to meet a new group of people in person. Sometimes meeting big groups of people can be really overwhelming, especially after being virtual for a few years. I think it'll be really nice, but I'm also like pretty apprehensive to meet people. I'm a really social person, so it's weird that that's also a thing I struggle with, but wish me luck. I will keep you along the ride for this week, and then we have another training all day tomorrow. So today starts 8:30 to 4 o'clock we have training, and then tomorrow is like 8 to 4. I look forward to starting the school year with you all. Don't forget to leave your questions and your comments down below. I love reading through those, and the more questions you leave below, the more content I have to make videos.
Yeah, exactly.
My special education director gave us all little presents, and these little cookies were inside of them. I just got to my hotel. The hotel's near Sally's Beauty, so my self-care tonight is staying in this hotel instead of driving 2 hours back home, and I'm going to do my nails, eat some cookies, crochet, watch TV, and relax because this school year's about to be wild. It's Friday, so the last time I talked to you, I think, was on Tuesday or Wednesday, and now it is Friday, so I have officially completed my first week of the new school year. Woo. I have to say, honestly, I am pleasantly surprised with how not stressed I am, and I feel kind of sad because all the rest of the special education team seems really stressed, and I just feel so chill, and I think it's because I've had the craziest years as a school psychologist. I started in 2020, so I think I've seen the worst of public education. I'm like, knock on wood. I hope I don't regret saying that later on, but I've seen a lot. I've worked in a lot of districts. I've worked with a lot of teams. Because I was contract psych, I've met a lot of teams every year, and honestly, I'm not worried about it yet. I think there will be less evaluations than there were at my last district, and I'm liking the idea of everybody being virtual and it not just being me. After I talked to you last, I had another training day, and so that day consisted of, we did a really cool a whole Enneagram day. So we all took the Enneagram test, and I found out finally, for the first time in my life, I took a personality test that seemed to fit me, because normally, I'm sure many of you are the same, I never have like one answer that feels right. I'm always like really mixed and like, that doesn't explain who I am. This is the first time I took an Enneagram test that was turned out correct. So I am an Enneagram 8, which, if you know Enneagram 8s, they're not great. People don't like them. I hate myself. I'm an Enneagram 8. I don't know if I should cut that out. Self-deprecating humor is so bad, but I do it a lot. So I'm an Enneagram 8, and Enneagram 8s are challengers. So you think about the hardest kids that you have, and when they're adults, they're really strong-headed. We're really good leaders. We are efficient. We're independent, all this stuff. But I've always been that naturally. And then there's a whole other side of my personality that fights that Enneagram 8. And my whole life I've talked about this and been so sad about it. I'm also almost equally an Enneagram 2, which is a sweet little helper. So you have literally the most strong-willed, like, not afraid to say anything, stand up for yourself, Enneagram 8, and at the same time an Enneagram 2. Girl, whole life I've naturally like wished I was sweet and quieter, and like I am very sweet, but I've always wished I could shut my mouth and not stand up for what I believe in. My whole life, as a kid, I would talk back when I believed something was wrong. I would correct, if you were not nice to me, you're going to be nice to me, right? But then I immediately feel so guilty for hurting someone's feelings. So that is me in a nutshell. I will stand up for what I believe, and I know it's correct, so I'm not going to say sorry for saying what I believe is the truth. And this is how I make my career too. Like, I will advocate for what I believe in. I know the laws. I know my job. I'm not afraid to make waves. But that being said, I will feel very anxious about it for the next year and be like, oh, did I hurt someone's feelings? Most of that training was me and everybody else in the room processing their Enneagram signs. And then we talked a lot about procedure. My takeaway for my training week and this week in general is there's one school psychologist out of 80 professionals in my school. And that's one school psychologist for K-12 which is 2 different principals. So K through 8 is one principal, 9 through 12 is another principal. And I was surprised to hear, no one told me this, I was surprised to hear that we have now a new school that's an alternative school. And there's one of me and over 1,200 kids and 80 staff members. And there's 2 SLPs and 1 school psychologist. My takeaway from this week is it's really easy as a school psychologist to become in a bubble that you don't want to be in. Maybe you do, actually. There's a lot of school psychs who want to be not involved in a special education bubble where they only do their evals. That's not me, but it's really easy for other people, to want to put you in a bubble and expect you to do one thing, and they don't understand your career. It's easy for you to easily slip into being alone, and that's really isolating. And I would say that that's a really unique position for special ed evaluators. So like if you're an OT, PT, SLP, sometimes there's usually more SLPs than others. You often don't have I don't have a training group to go to. Like we get split off into teams. I don't have a team, so I have to make myself fit in somewhere, and that can ruffle some feathers. So I joined the counseling group for some of our stuff because I'm like, I'm a mental health professional. Let's go talk. What are our procedures for suicide prevention? So I would say that it's been a good week, but mostly it's been good because I evaluated a kid this week. I gave a cognitive assessment this week, and I got to help a kid and meet with his family, and I'm going to be meeting with that kid to check in throughout the year. I want them to be successful, and so that feels rewarding. Like first week back, I'm already in the swing of it. So if you're a school psychologist or a special educator or a teacher or anyone going into education this year, good luck. We're going to have a great first year. I'm just excited to see how this year goes. Year 5 from COVID has to be better, right? Like we have to be kind of making our way out of the murky waters, right? Talk to you later. Bye.